All right, so power team, let's roll. Here we go. So again, this is going to be just a overall review of the platform. And then of course, I'm gonna go into some tools and things like that that I tend to use myself and things that I think will help people to be as successful with crypto in general, knowing how to access it, knowing how to find easy ways of using your cryptocurrency, whether it's with a debit card or the kind of real world applications that most people want to know. How can I use this crypto beyond earning it, which we are no doubt in a position to do here with Forsage. So, but anyways, yeah. So let's go ahead and talk about it. And let's get into this decentralized decentralized worldwide income. Now, it is a smart contract. So a lot of people who are on the call, or a few rather, that are on the call, may not know what a smart contract is. Now, I do have a video that I played, it was last week, I think it was, on one of our calls. And John brought it to the table, and it really is I think, to the point. It's roughly almost 4 minutes or so that it does explain and brings people, some visual kind of comprehension, or a visualization of how a smart contract works and why it is as important of a tool as it is. Okay, so let me go ahead and bring that up, and I'll play that from the Telegram. I don't have the video that I had before, but we'll go ahead and play it here.
Smart contract.
You guys can hear it?
Smart contract as an electronic contract registered in the form of a program code that independently executes the actions laid down in it, depending on the given conditions. A smart contract can't be changed after uploading to the blockchain network. A smart contract can perform any operations laid down in it in advance automatically without human intervention. Example: car purchase and sale transaction. The buyer transfers the entire amount for the car to the address of the smart contract. From now on, the deal can be considered open. The contract code stipulates the conditions that the contract will transfer this amount to the seller's wallet only when the buyer is appointed as the owner of this car in the electronic database. Such a transaction will be considered successful, and both parties to the transaction will receive what they wanted. If something goes wrong, and the transaction period goes beyond the agreed framework, the amount will be returned to the buyer's wallet. During the transaction, both the buyer and the seller had a guarantor in the form of an invisible assistant, a smart contract. The contract didn't take a penny for its service, and completed it quickly, safely, and as transparently as possible for everyone. Project advantages based on smart contracts. The main advantage of projects based on smart contracts is that the conditions are predefined and can't be changed. Anyone can see the code on which the smart contract is written. The code is in the public domain and contains all the conditions and details, like any paper contract. The next advantage is an almost unlimited duration. A verified smart contract exists as long as the blockchain in which it is loaded exists. And finally, is autonomy. Smart contracts don't require intermediaries. All operations between process participants are performed automatically without the participation of an administrator. What is the difference between a project based on the smart contract and various hypes and projects with a common cash desk? As you already know, one of the conditions for a project to work on a smart contract is its autonomy and immutability. And the role of the administrator is only to write the working conditions of this smart contract and upload it to the network. Further, the interaction between the participants of this project takes place without the participation of the administrator, and it can't affect the movement of ETH coins between the participants' wallets, since the contract can only perform predefined functions in its code and nothing more. That is, if it is written in the smart contract code that the currency is sent from the wallet of the first user to wallet of the second user, then this is what happens. In projects in which you transfer your coins to the administrator's wallet and then wait for the accrual of passive income in percent, most often huge, which means that with a very high probability these percentages can only be received for a short period. You risk that the administrator will disappear at some point along with your coins and coins of other participants, or by the fact that the claimed huge percentage will very quickly deplete the general cash desk, administrator's wallet, and payments will also stop. In both cases, you will lose what you invested in this project. Now compare the conditions for participation in projects on smart contracts and the conditions for participation in projects with a common cash desk, and make a decision for yourself in which projects and on what conditions you want to participate. I add that projects on smart contracts have a different principle for the distribution of coins.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let me go ahead and just to summarize, okay, what that means is there is no way for anyone to run off with your investment, okay, because many people know who have gotten into programs or, you know, some cryptocurrency passive income thing where you send your money in, you buy a package, and that package, you know, they claim that they're going to be trading on your behalf or whatever the case might be. There are a variety of different programs in that respect. But of course, with the smart contract, again, what it boils down to is we have this immutable code that is put on the Ethereum blockchain that cannot be altered or changed. Now, the user interface, like this website, it can have additional things added to it, like with the data, for example, the number of participants that have come into the program or the amount of Ethereum that has taken place and that has been transacted. As you can see, it's 47,345 that have passed between members in one way or another. And again, this is the beauty of this, where a lot of people who are new, for one, you know, it might be a lot to unpack when they're like, a smart contract, what's all that? You really don't need to understand the inner workings of the code. I mean, just like you don't need to understand the inner workings of your cell phone, for example, your smartphone, which it does all this wonderful stuff that we love, you know, for the variety of reasons that we love using it. But we know that it is dependable. I mean, for the most part, I mean, your battery might start to, you know, drain after a while, or, you know, the capacity of your battery or whatever the case is. I mean, you have, you know, faults like that. But outside of that, the phone generally works as you expect it to, right? Whether you're going to send an email, whether or not you're going to use, for whatever the function might be of the phone. So that kind of gives a comparison for people to how the smart contract works. The code is set in place and will do what it has been designed to do. And it has been vetted. You know, of course, it just was recently verified on Etherscan. And so now, you know, it has been given another level of authenticity and credibility. And, you know, this is something that, again, for people who don't understand what that is, some people don't even know what Etherscan is, but it essentially is the ledger or the interface that we can go to see the transactions, right? So if you wanted to see any of your own transactions, you can find that on Etherscan or of other members. And so the smart contract in and of itself is something that is, again, we use it as a tool to take the human intervention that takes place, unfortunately, as they were saying in that video, where you have an admin or someone who, you know, is claiming to be the person or the team of people who claim that they are, you know, doing whatever that they're doing in the background. But we don't have to worry about that here with this, and it's completely automated with respect to being able to earn your money. It happens in terms of the transactions once they are once the transactions are confirmed on the blockchain, which takes usually a few seconds. I mean, generally, the money instantly arrives in your MetaMask wallet. So I'm going to go ahead and show people right quick. This is my account, my personal account, and I've just actually clicked onto the instructions, but I'll come out to the back office, or rather to the dashboard, to the front page. That generally most people will be seeing it like this. Depending on if you're on a smartphone, of course, the layout is going to be different according to how, you know, your phone or whatever. Of course, if you have the page may be in a different size, but generally it's going to look like this. All right. So I do want to bring people's attention to the instructions at the top there. You have these different tabs that you can click onto: office, statistics, instructions, partners, and of course, logging out. Now this is a good place to, just for your own reference, or if you have someone who's around you. Of course, we do have PDFs and a variety of other things like videos that you can share with your team and your downline. But everyone, if they've already joined the program, they have access to the, well, I guess you could call this again, the dashboard, where they can go and look at the instructions themselves and remind themselves how it works. Okay, so, and I'm just gonna run through it because generally I'm doing this a little bit different. Generally I have that PowerPoint presentation, but I just wanted to run through it in an easy way so that I can just talk over it without reading through kind of each of the pages on the PowerPoint. And this is something, again, for people to do themselves to refresh your mind of how this system works. Okay, so yeah, because when you explain it to other people, you want to be sure that you have some kind of reference that you can show them. And if you're in your own back office, you can, show them examples of your own back office, which we will do. So again, the program, as you all know, when we come into the program, we come into two programs at the same time. Okay, X3 and X4. Now on X3, of course, you have one row, which takes up, or rather 3 positions, as it starts from left to right, are the referrals that you actively bring in. On X4, very similar, you have 2 rows though, and you have positions underneath what would be the income slot. Now, where it says 1, most of us here already know that this is your first level, or income stream 1, or slot 1. Okay, so you can think of it as you will, but ultimately this is the license for that income stream, and you have paid 0.05 Ethereum to get into the program. But of course, when we come into the program, keep in mind that's what's happening. You are entering into 2 programs, and active and the team build. Okay, it tends to be the passive, but of course, even your active efforts go into the team build as well, right? Because if we bring someone into the program and they enter the first slot, they enter into one of the slots as well on X4, right? So they would enter into the first slot or second or perhaps third, and then of course their position would be equally put into. Now keep in mind, this is only on entry. Okay, other than that, they have to buy each income slot separately, which I'll show you in a second. So keep that in mind. And yeah, you're always tied, as you can see this little chain here, you're always tied to your either upline through the affiliate link that you have used to join the program. Likewise, when someone uses your affiliate link, then they are forever connected to you, okay? And their Ethereum wallet likewise is connected to the contract, to this Forsage smart contract. No expiration on the slots. They do recycle over and over and over and over again, with a caveat that you do need to upgrade after 2 recycles, or the income streams will go into a bit of a stasis, where it just holds and it waits until you upgrade, because those payments, while it's paused, payments that would come in, even if it's your own referrals, they would end up going to your upline, right? So likewise in X4, if you, again, allow it to go into the stasis, payments, you're essentially going to miss payments. And it's so easy to upgrade. So we don't want to let that happen and fall behind, so to speak. So of course, with the slots here, as we know, there are 12 of the actual income slots. So 0.025, which is around $5 or so right now with Ethereum. Ethereum did come down a little bit over well, it's been up and down. Like this weekend, I mean, we've seen it as high as I think 219 or 20 per Ethereum. And I think it's around 204 right now. So a lot of you all who are new or relatively new, you've gotten a nice dose of how quickly Ethereum and cryptocurrency in general, how much it can fluctuate. So definitely something to be aware of. But of course, again, as I said, there are 12 income slots on each of the programs, and each progressive one is double what the one previous was. All right, so again, for 0.025, naturally the next one would be 0.05, and beyond that, 0.1, 0.2, 0.4, 0.8, and so on as it moves up. And of course, second row point, or rather 1.6, 3.2, and this is again in Ethereum. All right, so those numbers, each payment that you get in at that level does represent the amount that the income stream is set at, right? So if you were receiving income at, well, level one, like I said, it's around $5, and each payment that comes in is about that much. And if we come all the way down here to 0.8 Ethereum, each payment coming in is around 80 something dollars or so, roughly. So, and likewise, as we move up, and it gets, pretty interesting and amazing and life-changing, really, ultimately, when it comes into these higher payments, when you're starting to receive payments of, 12.8 Ethereum, right? So, I mean, for example, I just upgraded myself. I sent a payment up on X4 of 6.4 Ethereum, right? So someone received a pretty nice little payment. And when you open up those income streams, you are entitled to payments of that level as well, according to the income slot that you've opened up. And so, yes, again, there are, as you can see, 24 income slots in all. So you would be able to effectively have 24 income streams working all the time, right? So you don't know, it could be that you get in a payment of 0.1 Ethereum, at some point in the day, and then later on in the day, you get another payment on X4 of, for example, 6.4 Ethereum, okay? And this is happening all the time with relation to the fact that you do get paid on X3. Each one of the positions, keep in mind, are your income, but always also realize that the last position on X3, on that third position there, is what's called the recycle, right? So you pay that to your upline, which reactivates the income stream all over again. And so it's the same with X4. On that last position, when it is filled, that payment, even though it's considered your payment, but you have to pay it, and it happens automatically to restart the income stream or the cycle all over again. And so again, as I said before, the registration, it's 0.05 Ethereum. You come into that, it splits into both the X3 and the X4. Beyond that, you do have to pay individually for each income slot. So if I go back up here again, you can't just pay again, let's say 0.2 Ethereum and open up at the same time let's say in your mind, you thought that you were going to open up, well, you would know right away after you open up your first income stream or your second income stream, because to be honest, this happened with me. I paid the 0.05 thinking that it was going to open up likewise on X4, but my mistake, I realized it after the fact that I had to pay separately to open up income stream 2, for example, on X4. It doesn't happen at the same time like it does when you come into the program and you register. All right, so I hope that's clear for people. So there's no misunderstandings for people that you might be bringing into the program if they're asking about that, because that question does get asked all the time. Like, can I just go ahead and come in and, upgrade to level 9 or whatever the case might be? Yes, you can, but you have to do it progressively and you have to do it individually. In terms of on X3, you would have to do the individual purchase of each slot, and on the X4 it would be the same thing. You have to do the individual of each income stream. So as I come down, you can see kind of the cycle, the way that it works out. Again, most of us here on the call already know this, right? We bring in the payments 1, 2, and 3, right? As I said before, first payment goes up, second payment goes up. Well, and when I say up, but up into your wallet instantaneously. And again, I stress the fact that this is such a beautiful part of the system, is that you don't have to wait. When those payments, as soon as your person comes in and they make the payment in their, whether it's MetaMask or Trust wallet, that payment instantly goes into your wallet, right? There's no manual withdrawal from the platform. You don't have to go to the website to go, request a withdrawal like you do with, 99% of the platforms out there, is that you have to actually go out there and manually withdraw the funds. And so it does recycle over and over again. As you can see, once you get that last payment in, it's paid up to your upline and reactivates your income stream. What else here? This is essentially talking about X4 and the same thing, the cycle, as I already explained. Now, one thing I will show another example of this, but one thing to keep in mind is that this, as it plays out here, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5 and 6, this can happen in a variety of different orders. It doesn't necessarily, if someone, let's say from below, comes in and pays, and then that fills up your first slot, it doesn't mean that you have to wait until the second slot, or rather, it doesn't mean that you wouldn't have to go 1, 2, and then 3. For example, and I don't think Dorikas would mind if I mention it, but he upgraded recently a few days ago, and he had someone else, one of his referrals, come in, and then they also upgraded. So they filled up the first slot here, and this was for, I think it was X4. But however, though, that person came in, his referral filled up the first slot, and then this was income stream 7. But regardless, he instantly got a payment of $600 and however much dollars it was, $650, that went here in income slot, or rather in position 3. So he got paid on that next payment that came in. He didn't have to wait until it went to the second and then to the third. It actually came in here first. So that's something to be aware of, that it doesn't always go in order. So don't be surprised if you see like this circle fill first, number 1, and then number 4, for example. And then you might get another payment there. And then the next payment might actually fill in position 2 where you wouldn't get a payment, and so on and so forth. So do be aware that there isn't a set cycle to how these positions are filled. Definitely something to be aware of, and to just not be too confused by that. The reinvest, as I already explained, essentially, that just means that you are repurchasing that position again, and it happens automatically. You don't have to do it manually yourself, whereas you do have to do the upgrades manually. Okay, because when, let's say, if you do fill in these, if you have a payment come in, because this is an example of X3, if you had a payment come in on the first and second position, that happens to be exactly the amount that it would take to upgrade to the next position, right? So if you can do that, and it's recommended to do it on the first cycle, then do that, all right? So that you don't have to worry about this income stream pausing on you after you've either forgotten to upgrade, and that might happen too. You might just innocently not realize that you've had, let's say, 6 referrals come in, right? And then because you don't upgrade, then this happens to just like pause on you. Okay, so again, you do want to make sure that you upgrade, so that you don't miss any payments. Let's talk about the upgrade and the which I really just explained, but I can show here with as you can see, the basket there. Like I said, if you were going to upgrade from income stream 8 up to 9, you do have to click on the basket. It will bring up your MetaMask wallet. You confirm the payment as you would like when you entered the program. Okay, it's as simple as that. The hazardous arrow will pop up. I don't think it will pop up prior to you missing payment. Am I wrong about that, John, if you're there on the line?
Yep, I'm here.
Now, with a hazard arrow, it doesn't pop up prior to you missing a payment. It only pops up if you've actually missed a payment. Is that correct?
Actually, it pops up when you have two partners taken up under the X3. It starts to show that, warning you that you should upgrade before the next one.
Gotcha. Okay, because for example, this did pop up on me, and it showed that it popped up when I had missed a payment, right? I saw this icon with the minus, the red icon with the minus sign. And here's another thing too. You guys know about the notification bot, or if you don't, I'll bring it to your attention. Let me click on this here. You can see someone here missed the payment. All right, so this actually popped up on my Telegram notification bot. And then as soon as that happened, the arrow did pop up where I was able to click onto the arrow, and it showed, that I did miss this payment, and it recommended that I go ahead and upgrade that position that I missed. And the missed payment was because I had someone who was a referral that went to an income slot and purchased that income slot before I had. And so, it's just something that you don't want to get in the habit of doing, because anything that they earn, or rather when they recycle, let's say that person who jumped you, when they get to the recycle position, well, first of all, you don't get paid. And that's the missed profit that you would have gotten for that license, right? Because they have to pay you to get the license if you have it. But if you don't have the license to that income stream, whatever it might be, right, second, third, or fourth, or fifth, then you don't get the payment. And likewise, when they get to the position of recycling, you don't get a payment because you don't have any rights to that income stream. Okay, simple as that. But yeah, you guys can see there how that works. And this is another new addition too. Like the developers are always adding new things. So it's really nice to see. It's like every other couple of days, we're seeing just new additions to the website that make it even more interactive and really fun. I mean, just to be able to give you guys all the data, because I mean, in the early days of the platform, I mean, it was pretty much just a raw form of the website, the way we see it now. And we didn't even know how many members were coming into the platform, and we didn't know how much Ethereum had taken place on the platform. There wasn't this notification bell. We didn't have the Telegram bot. And these, this was stuff that was, I don't know, within the first month or month and a half or so. And then things really started to unfold with all these added features. So yes, there is that. I think I explained the upgrading situation pretty good. I cannot stress enough, people. I mean, when you miss payments, and I've shown an example on other calls, but when you miss multiple payments, they may seem insignificant in the beginning. If it's like 0.025 Ethereum, okay, no big deal. But once that keeps adding up and you see in your statistics, a large amount. In fact, let me go up here and show from statistics. I'll click on that, which is good to be doing this here. Now you can type on or click on the type of transaction that you want to be shown in your statistics. So for example, if I want to show, lost profits, okay? Hopefully I don't have too many of that. Now you do have to hit the blue apply button. So as you can see, I have missed a few payments. Not too many, thankfully, because I did position myself to go ahead and upgrade and not be in a position where I was going to miss payments that were coming through. So you can simply avoid all of that by being sure that you upgrade when you are comfortable doing so. Again, I don't want to, scare people into upgrading, because that's really not, that's not the feeling that you want to have, but that is what motivates you, right? When you lose money, right? In any way that you lose money, right? If you lost a $100 bill on the ground, you'd be pretty pissed about it, right? Because that money is no longer yours that you would have had, but now it's on the floor and someone else has got it, right? So it's the same thing as, missing payments. You might as well have had a $500 or euro bill or whatever the case might be, and you drop it on the ground. It's as simple as that. Now, yes, you do have to, pay, and it may be from pure profit from either referrals that you've had come in who have helped you to get your income stream to that level where you can just upgrade out, like without coming out of pocket. Or if you're in a position to come out of pocket with that extra money, then you can do that, right? And you should. I mean, most definitely. Which is why, I mean, for example, just this morning, I went ahead and upgraded, like I said, to level 9 and pulled out, the 6.4 Ethereum. And I actually didn't have it in my Ethereum wallet. I had it in my Exodus wallet, and I just was like, let me go ahead and do this now because I did have the money. So instead of missing potential payments that might be coming in, which I don't think I had yet, or at least I wasn't made aware. It doesn't show here that I missed any payments at level 9. But, and how does that work, John? I mean, of course, I haven't upgraded to, for example, level 10, or in the case of level 9, when would, now other people have, below me sent payments of that much, of that amount. How is it that I get into a position where I've missed it?
Well, depends if your downline If your downline is upgrading to the same level you are, and you're not at that level, then you will miss it.
It's only when your particular downline has upgraded, or the downline below them, in the lineage that you're
That's
in.
right.
Is that right?
Someone in the lineage below you reaches that level, and everyone above that is not at that level. It will reach you eventually if you are at that level. But if you are not at that level, it will pass you.
Gotcha. Yeah, because again, there are plenty of people, just so others here on the call know, there are plenty of people who are coming in, let's say the 30,000th person or the 40,000th person, and they have gone and upgraded all the way to level 10. I've seen, quite a few people who've upgraded to level 10, and I don't miss those payments when they send them up. It may go to their upline, or excuse me, perhaps their upline hasn't upgraded yet, but that payment will find someone. But if it's not in that lineage, as John just clarified for me too, then it's not an actual missed payment. But if it's someone in your downline or their downline and in the lineage, you ultimately would miss the payment, even if you're not the direct sponsor. For example, these two payments right here of 1.6 Ethereum, okay, that's like $350 or whatever it was at the time. Those two payments, I would have actually received those payments. And the reason it shows as missed payments is because my downline, these two were the direct referrals of someone who was connected to me directly in my downline, right? And they went ahead and upgraded to level 7 on X3, and I had not yet done that. So where my referral below me, he missed those payments as well because he hadn't upgraded, and I would have received those payments because they were in my direct lineage, but it ended up passing all the way through to my upline. And those two payments, my upline got lucky again and received some payments that really I could have avoided missing. And it's the same. And to be honest, I mean, I've even warned my downline who's missed these payments, and he's in position to miss payments again for not having upgraded to level 8. And, c'est la vie. I mean, there's only so much you can do, but the very least you can do, of course, is to keep in contact with your downline and let them know that, hey, there's someone who's below us that is, they're going to upgrade. They've been talking about it. And, in some cases, maybe you're just not connected to your downline, but you want to make sure that you are paying attention, right? I mean, going back up to, let's say, clicking on the office, I think, which would be a better thing, I guess, to click on partners. And you can see your list of partners here, right? Now you can see that some of those partners are just in a position where, they are already up pretty high. And then if you were to click on, can we click on?
Go to the next page.
If you click on the number, I was going to click on the number, for example, just to show like what, because let's see this person here who is 5847. And if I click on that, that's going to take me to so I'm looking at their page right now. All right. Now, of course, they would need to, and if I click on their partners, I could see also too, which partners are in position, this is their list of partners and so forth. And some of their partners maybe are in a position, that they're ready to upgrade or whatever the case might be. It's just something that you want to make sure that you are paying attention as best you can. I mean, you don't want to spend an over amount of time, staring or trying to dissect this too much, but, just be sure that you're in contact with your downline on a fairly regular basis, so you guys can keep up with, the fact that if someone's going to upgrade, or, if they're not, or if you're not in a position to upgrade. Well, here's the thing. I mean, again, you can't stop people from upgrading if they have people below them who may also potentially upgrade. And you can't really force members below you to not upgrade. So, but this is just all little caveats to be aware of, no doubt about it. I kind of clicked off from the instructions or the overview, but just trying to give some real-time examples But pretty much, I think that's where I left. I mean, I was there at the end anyways, just talking about spillover, which I kind of already did touch on a little bit. But the spillover on X4 happens in a variety of ways, right? So it could be a combination of all of these different, scenarios where you've got someone who's overtaken their partner, overflow, spillover from as it moves up when someone upgrades, coming up from below. Likewise, overflow from above, right? When someone either upgrades and then it falls into the position that it should, coming down. And likewise, your own personal partners. Again, when you refer people into the program, they systematically fill in the circles as well. So, but that's how the overflow and the overtaking and all that would be shown in your X4, okay? So that pretty much sums it up. I did, just wanted to go, at least with respect to, the instructions here so that people can refer to them and just, stay up, in a kind of mental mindset of reference, right? Where what's happening and what these income slots represent and the circles and with exception for X3, we know how the sequence goes. But again, as I said in X4, you can see here, I mean, we've got circles popping up all over the place and then not necessarily in a straight order. Yeah, I mean, again, there's an open circle here where these two circles and this income stream 4, right, the slot 4, as you can see, that first row is filled up, and the two right on the bottom have filled in before this fourth position here on the bottom filled in. So just a variety of different ways that it can play out. Another thing that I wanted to show when I click onto the, because a lot of people ask questions either in the main, Forsage Telegram, and a lot of people are just not aware of this. But of course, you may not be directly connected to your upline on X4, okay? It does recycle and change positions, right? So for right now, as you can see, I am connected on that income stream 1 to this. This does happen to be my upline. But if I click onto, let's go to the next position. All right, so income stream 2, okay, on X4, as you can see, these payments that are coming in, right, they actually go up to this partner here, right, to this 29,558. So that doesn't necessarily mean that I will always be connected to that particular person. On the next cycle, when the 6th circle comes in, this will change. It's not only that it can change, it will change. If I'm not mistaken, John, is that right? Does it always recycle, into a different partner?
When you go to the recycle, when the last position takes up, the number changes.
Right. Okay. And for example, let me click back on the history. I'm going to go back 1 cycle. Okay, 7 of 8. And that happens to be, is that the same? That actually is the same. Interesting. Now I'm clicking through these cycles right now, and it's showing the same wallet. And is that correct or is that wrong?
No, it's only for the current one. It doesn't change. It shows you. It doesn't change when the history button is hit. It only shows you where it is now.
Okay. I got you.
To see where actually went with this, if you scroll down a little bit below, you will see all the transactions below where it all went. The numbers are different. To actually track where they go, there's an arrow. There's a small open box with an arrow. There's an Etherscan trace. You click it there, it will show you the address of where it went. And then if you copy that address and paste it into the search view mode,
right, and see what the ID is. Okay. Right. Well, I won't get that extensive right now, everyone, but you can understand. Yeah. So I mean that, at least for my my brain, because again, I'm doing this in real time. I mean, again, as I said at the beginning of this, a lot of these things, every day is a new.
Okay, do one thing if you're here. You just scroll up. You see this number 29558. Just log out and key in this number. You show it only shows one time on his ID. If you log out and put in 29558. and then you look at this X4 level 2, click on X4 level 2 box. It shows you he's still not even recycled, but you can see your ID is there on position 6, 5346.
Right.
So only one payment has gone to him. And the reason the one payment has gone to him because your upline screwed up somewhere along the way, and then there's a 64 shown there, so he's also getting payment for this. So because you're directly under him, so then your profit goes to this guy also.
Gotcha. So yeah, and of course, I mean that proves too also that because this person hasn't cycled it, that sixth or that seventh and that sixth cycle couldn't be this person because they haven't actually cycled that many times anyways. Yep. So here, let me go back to Office. Actually, let me put in my own again. And we'll reference, I just wanted to show that point to people, just keep in mind that the X4, it does cycle through, which is really a beautiful part of the system because, where some people might feel that it's unfair or that it's always fixed, it does cycle through different partners. And when it cycles through, is it always within the lineage or can it be outside of the lineage?
Outside the lineage possible. I give it a good example, 18286.
Okay.
This was a support call I responded to 2 days ago. And this customer, his upline was 19111, and he had this partner 18286. If you go down to X4, go back to Office.
Yeah.
And go to his X4. This is interesting. Click on the box number 1. In this case, you see this guy's ID went to upline 16503. If you click the right-hand side box number 2.
Wait, this?
Yep. Then the upline is a different number. And this is the original sponsor. 11191 was the original sponsor of 18286. And his question was his downline 52461, which appeared in every one of his line ones. If you click number 3 again, you can see 52461 again appearing on line 1. And this payment went to 1191. And if you click the right box 4 again, and then this one goes to 11191 again. But if you go into 11191, you won't see this money going there because it went to a higher partner. The purple arrow on the side tells you it went to a higher partner. Yeah, so he was unhappy because he was claiming he should have gotten this as an upline payment, but it didn't go to him because something went wrong in their lineage. Yeah, something went wrong in their lineage. So the guy between, at the time, this is 22 days ago, he wasn't at that level, so therefore he was assigned different partner IDs above him. Gotcha.
Yeah, and so I mean, again, for people, this, it might seem that are on the call now that, whoa, this is gotta pulling your scalp back, because it's just maybe too much information to take in. But just be aware that this is how, in terms of the transparency and in terms of we're able to see all of the partners' information, right? That really brings a lot of, as they say, disclosure, and really discloses all of what people might feel is, oh, there's some sneaky business going on, and we can see all of the partners, right, from the very beginning.
If you go to your Telegram message box from me, I've just copy and pasted the evidence because he wanted to argue that this Forsage smart contract was swallowing his profits. So you can see this is the same guy, 18286, exactly where his money went. You can see the ID below on the blue dot, the paying dot, 52461 on dot number 3. That same guy was paid to 8510 on level 4. And then level 3 was paid to ID 3. Same guy, 52461. And then on the second level, he was paid to ID 1. Right? ID, sorry, 11497. And then on the first level, the box below, one box below, this one went to 16503. So in these cases, all the 4 payments from his downline went to 4 different people, not in his lineage.
Yeah, I mean, and as a result of, the fact that they had not upgraded.
Yes. This has happened 22 days ago. So at that time, 18286 did not have all the boxes open. So this is what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, you know, this is why I cannot, as I say, stress enough about the fact that you do need to go ahead and upgrade as high as you're comfortable doing. Because a lot of people, you know, who are on this call right now, you know, you're at income stream 1 and you're wondering how come you're not making any money. You know, I mean, there's money flowing all over the place that could certainly come into your pocket. I mean, even for myself, upgrading to, as I keep bringing up this example, because it's a good size of money. I mean, that was $1,200 that I just put out. But why did I do that? Because I have already had a solid taste of receiving payments, even if it wasn't for maybe 2 weeks later at that income stream. But it will happen because, you know, people are, well, as you can see in the system, there are a lot of people who don't take action, right? And so for those who are taking action, you benefit. It's as simple as that. You're in a position to benefit when others are taking their foot off the gas pedal and just, you know, skipping, I won't say responsibility, but ultimately it is your responsibility, right? I mean, for one, to educate yourself as much as you can about all of this and how it works, and to position yourself as best you can. I gotta sign back in again. Yeah. Yeah, keep that in mind, people. You do have to sign in there. When you sign out, you log out, it will, actually, this is my another account here that I have. Let me move this out of the way. Other thing, yeah, make sure that, yeah, the MetaMask, like I said, sometimes it takes a second to pop up, so don't let that fool you. I have to log out here again. Now, that was an account, I did a test account under someone. I first joined a guy named Crypto Analyzer. And for example, he's a relatively big YouTuber. I mean, he does very well with a lot of other passive income platforms. And I don't, you know, bring this point up to like brag or whatever, but just to show people that you can go past your upline, right? Or you can go past someone who, you know, you see as someone who can, oh, they can get more partners than I can. In fact, actually, let me show that example. I don't mean to put him on blast, but I will just at least, because you guys, well, I think I already said who it was, but I don't think it will matter too much. I mean, you know, this is full disclosure. People can find this out if they wanted to. Let me just show this as an example, okay? All right, so you guys can see how many partners he has, right? I guess you can nod your heads there. You don't have to make an audible you know, noise or whatever, but I can't hear you anyways. But you can see he has a solid amount of referrals. Now, what has happened is, because he's not really so active in terms of his team building, that he's got a lot of people, 98 people who have come in and only upgraded, and only out of 98 of those people, only 42 of those people upgraded to level 2 even, all right? And it gets less and less and less, to the point that none of these 98 ever upgraded to level 7. Or at least maybe well, again, that shows here. I mean, none of them even upgraded beyond level 6, if I'm not mistaken. Am I saying that correctly, John?
Say again?
No, about this, in this situation, right? Because this is someone who I signed up underneath very early on, before I decided to switch teams, so to speak, with a more active team. Now, for example, as I make this point, like, you know, he has 98 referrals that he's brought in, which is that's over 3 times the amount of people that I've brought in to the program. And to keep in mind that I am still bringing people in, but I place them under my own referrals, as opposed to just, you know, letting him go wide to the right or whatever. But anyways, though, out of the 98, these 98 referrals, all of them came in at level 1, right? But only
42 came to level 2.
Only 42 of those 98 upgraded to level 2. And out of that, only 22. And obviously, it minimized, it really dropped off at level 4. Okay? So what that has done, and of course, what the point I was saying is, none of those people, as you can see, went beyond level 6. Only one person out of all of those 98 people went to level 6. Okay? And
someone below didn't upgrade.
Yeah, and of course, I guess he did have one person, maybe that was that same person, here on the X3 level 6 that maybe came in and upgraded here. Let me, in fact, I can look 4828. I bet it's the same person. No, because this person actually jumped over the partner. So, but that just goes to show that this person, because he started the program 2 weeks before I did, when I joined him initially, which was, I don't know. Anyways, I jumped in after it, but then I realized that, hey, I want to be in a more active team. I kind of knew that he wasn't a team builder, so hopped on with a solid team. And of course, I mean, again, you guys have already seen my account without having nearly the same amount of referrals, but because, I've been very active, as all of you now know, in doing Zoom calls and trying to communicate with the team.
Do something. I want to show you something interesting. I just was responding to a tech support ticket just.
Yeah.
This guy was pretty unhappy because look at ID number 3714.
Hang on one sec.
3714. I want to tell you guys something interesting so you don't get shocked next time you see it. Okay, look under, if you move your mouse over the positions below 1, you see the number will show 5103, and then the second one shows 5103 again, and then the next one, level 2, shows you 5103 again. And then all the way to level 5, it shows the same guy, because this guy only had one partner. So a lot of people get confused. How can this be? And then they get lost. And what happens is because this guy, 5103, if you log out and you key in 5103, 5103 had 3 partners, and they had more partners below them. So what happens was 5103 recycled on positions 1 to 5, levels 1 to 5 on X3. So every time he recycles, a position in his upline gets taken up. So it showed one time 5103, and then it shows again 5103 because he had recycled 2 times from the partners below him. So people thought, hey, how come this guy got paid twice? Yeah, he got paid twice because his partners below him worked. So he got twice.
Yep. Yeah, it makes sense. And of course, again, a lot of people, I know you're like, what? I don't understand. John, what did you say? Tell them one more time. Say it a little slower so they can understand what just happened. And I'll go back to the original example of, what was it? 3 what?
3714. 3714. We can see this guy had 5. His partner was 5103, and he's got one position in position 1, and then he's got another position in position 2, also 5103. Now, how can this be? This is because his partner below him, 5103, had recycled twice in the same instance, because this guy only had one partner. He didn't add any more people. So the partners below his partner recycled. They added more people, and they kept growing. So then he recycled. So he recycled twice. So then they shows 2 positions there.
Can I click on the partners here?
Yeah, you can click on the partners. So these people have added people like 5117, who was his partner, had lots of people coming in. He had 3 people coming in, and then so he caused 5103 to recycle again and again and again. So that's why it's showing 2 5103 positions on 3714.
Right.
It takes a while to get your mind around it, but I can write a technical write-up for this so you guys can read and post it. But it's a common problem I get, because I had like 2 calls yesterday and 1 call today with the same problem, because someone's partner had more than one ID shown.
Yeah, people thinking that it's a glitch when, again, I mean, this is how interesting this whole.
It's not a glitch, because I checked with Lado just 5 minutes ago and he confirmed it's correct, because the partner below recycled twice.
Right. Yeah, and again, I mean, that makes sense now. I mean, that you've mapped it out and explained it. I mean, I actually hadn't noticed a situation like that. I mean, I haven't.
If you go back to Office on this 5103, and you click on box number 1, you see the partner below 5117, 5117. So he recycled twice. Therefore, 5103 recycled twice, and it shows on 3714 it's 2 dots.
Right. So it fills in the appropriate circle. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, this guy recycled once. You click the down history, I think you'll see the same guy's number again.
Wait, click on what again?
The down history. He's recycled once. So you click on the history below. No, on top. Go up.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
You should see the same guy's number there, repeated, 5117, and then what happens was 517 joined in, and 5159, 5162, and this thing recycled, and then again 517's people below him added more people, so then you recycle again.
Mm. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the different ways that this can play out. But again, for people that are on this call, we've got like, well, it's me, you, John, a few other people who I know are in the power team, and a handful of new people who are, again, this information might just be flying way over your head. But again, the simplicity of things is that the system, it works. You can't have your money taken, right? No one can run off with our money, right? That is such an important thing to make sure you have your brain locked in. Okay. Now, with respect to, people who are having a hard time convincing, and again, I don't want to use the word convincing, but sharing this with other people. As I tell people, like even in the marketing that I do, well, now each and every Saturday, and it's kind of becoming a mantra, just like explaining this platform that, of course, approaching people with this, you don't want to seem desperate. If you seem desperate, it's like anything else. If you're trying to, attract, someone of the opposite sex, and you are being just overly desperate, I mean, that is such a turnoff, right? It can seem like, even for someone who may actually, even that other person might be attractive, but they've kind of got this like, glitch that they seem so desperate. It's like, hey, I think I'm going to put the brakes on that. And it's the same way. I mean, I would compare that with this platform. Get yourself into a position where you really understand it, as best you can. Referring people to come to Zoom calls like this, referring them to the information, some of the videos that are only, maybe 5 minutes long, maybe 10 minutes long, and gives them a, overall overview. Because a Zoom call like this, yes, we get into so much more detail, right? So, maybe having someone come to a Zoom call like this might not necessarily be, the right way to approach people, because first of all, a lot of people aren't going to want to come to the call if they're not invested themselves, right? You get a lot of people because they have no connection to what they're getting, to what's being talked about. So they unplug, right? You got people like even that, maybe come to the call, like those community calls will get up until like, 120, 130 people. And then, 10 minutes into the call, 10 people have left because they just was like, I'm not even in this. I don't care about it. I don't want to know about it. But again, knowing how the system works, right? And again, approaching people in particular who are more in a disposition to want to listen to this, right? They may have lost their job. They're sitting around at home. They got nothing to do. They maybe haven't lost their job, but if they're essentially on a lockdown situation, which so many people, in various countries are, what I'm saying, right? And you yourself, myself included, I have a lot more time on my hands, even though I am an owner of a gym, a co-owner of a gym. We have a gym where we, we offer athletic services to people, but we've had to shut down operations, which my livelihood has been very much affected and would be a big problem if I didn't have like sources, like online sources that were another outlet. And Forsage has been an amazing opportunity because yes, I've done fairly well with some of these other programs that I never even talked to the power team about. I never bring up stuff that I'm doing outside of Forsage to the, other people, because I want to keep people on track with how easy this is. The best program out of so many that I've done over the years. This is as easy as it gets, and again, I don't know how much more, I can get that across to people who are already in the power team, that you have stumbled upon something very, very unique. And, this is why I stress to the people in the power team, I'm not trying to, be overly desperate to get you to do things. I'm trying to tell you this for the love of helping you out at this point. I mean, I'm doing fine, to be honest. I'm doing pretty good, and I don't need, desperately to be telling people, hey, upgrade, please upgrade. I need you to. No, I'm going to keep working hard. I want you to know that for people who are on this call, I'm working and other people in the team are working, and we're not planning on even trying to slow down. So, you know what I mean? I just want to, I guess, emphasize that point, getting a little bit serious with people. But You know what I mean? It's up to you. At the end of the day, as they say, it's up to you. So if you want to change your situation, you better go ahead and start paying attention. Anyways, though, with that said, I do want to show a couple of things, when it comes to, as I brought up in the call on Sunday, or rather on Saturday, one of the easiest places to get your crypto, right? We gave out a list. John did. He composed a list that he put in the community chat room. And then in addition to that, this was something that I had forgotten about. Changely, I've known about for years. I mean, almost 3 years that I've known about Changely, and they have evolved with, as a lot of the services have, for using a payment processor that allows you to use credit cards. Now this one, with any credit card, I don't know if maybe from where you're trying to log in, maybe you need a VPN, right? Where you can get around your internet provider's lockdowns or something like that. But otherwise, if you have a Visa, right, that's a debit card, right, that everyone has, if you have a bank anyways, or if you have a MasterCard, which is a credit card that a lot of people have. If you don't have a debit card, you might have a credit card, but you can come here and then be able to buy cryptocurrency. Simple as that. You don't have to go through the bank and, have your bank, connect to whatever that service is, like Coinbase for me, for example, which I'll show in a second. But if you click on this with Changely, it comes here, asks you, do you agree to the terms, and so on and so forth. But point is, Visa, okay, very boldly placed right there for people to see, and MasterCard are accepted, right? You want to put in $100, get yourself started, or you could do this for someone else, right? It will give you the conversion, right? Now they do a variety of cryptos, but we're just dealing with Ethereum, so let's just keep it simple, okay? So if you wanted to, with your Visa or debit card, or rather with your Visa or MasterCard, it's already set at Ethereum. Be sure that you're on the correct cryptocurrency. Don't get all up. I mean, you have to know which cryptocurrency it is because you have to put your address in there. And if you put an Ethereum address in there, and let's say you had it on BTC or Bitcoin Cash, it would show you that there's an error with your, with what you're trying to do. So anyways, though, so with that, boom, you hit continue. Okay, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4-step process. Really 3 because you're finished after you do the card payment. And hang on here. I didn't put in an address. I'll show you though, for an example, how quick it is to get your address. Right here I go. I'm going to click on, or actually, yeah, I can just click. I'm doing more than I need to. I can just actually click on that. Okay, you could just click on that. I'll do it again. You click on that. You can click on that. Make sure it sinks in people's heads. There you paste it. There's the address. You hit continue, right? Your Ethereum address must be yours and under your full control. Please make sure that your wallet supports smart contracts. Otherwise, the crypto will not be delivered. Okay, that's MetaMask. It does support smart contracts. FYI. Boom. Okay, you put in your card information, which obviously I'm not going to do right now. All right, and then you can get your crypto. Okay, pay now. And I believe after that, it would ask you for verification in one way or another. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe you have to, I'm not sure what it is. So again, it could be a passport that you have to enter or your social security card. I'm not sure, but do know that Changely is a very well-known and reputable company, and the Simplex, their payment processor, is also well-established as well. Okay, so again, no excuse. It doesn't get any easier than using your Visa and MasterCard. And if you have excuses about, oh, I can't get cryptocurrency, I don't know what else to do for you. I mean, I've actually had people who wanted to pay me through PayPal, and I've sent them Ethereum, but I don't want to get in the habit of doing that, and nor should you. If you have someone that you're able to do that for, you can just buy the crypto for them, or they can come here, or if in the case you want to get cryptocurrency for someone else, you can do that. Set up their MetaMask wallet, send the payment directly through from your own credit card or your Visa card, and then boom, their Ethereum wallet is funded and ready to go. Again, Coinbase, I think it's probably logged me out in the amount of time that I've used to talk here. But if I were going to sign in, I'm not going to go to the full sign up. It does ask you for, it's a 2-step verification. it's actually sent me the code. In fact, actually, let me just go ahead and put it in because it will change. And I don't care if you guys see this or not because it is going to change by the time this video goes out to anyone. Now, Coinbase, you do have to connect it to your bank, right? Now, they're well known in various parts of Europe. I think in most European countries, you can do this. And as you see, I don't really even I don't store any money on Coinbase because it is an exchange. I stress to people to make sure that they understand that your wallet, you do not hold the private keys to the wallet here, okay? So in the case that, I mean, even though Coinbase is, again, very reputable and credible and all that, but you are not in possession of your private keys over here, all right? So if Coinbase goes down, you know, for maintenance or something, you won't be able to access your cryptocurrencies. And also, yeah, I mean, they may, for, you know, their policies want to hold your payment for 3 days while your bank clears it and so on and so forth. But yes, you can purchase from here. And then yes, a lot of people ask, well, how can I use my Ethereum? And this is another example, you know, which I'll run through right quick. But if you wanted to use your Ethereum, for example, let's say you've made $1,000 with, you know, with Forsage. And then what you wanted to do is to then sell it. Okay. So if you had, let's say you sent it from MetaMask into the Ethereum wallet. Where's the Ethereum wallet here? It's way down here. If I click on that, right? And then what I would do next is, I mean, I guess because I don't have a balance, it's not showing sell. I don't see the, but however, so ultimately you would sell it, right? And it would go into your wallet. They have either a Euro wallet or a US wallet. And once that's done, it'll give you the option to send it to your bank. Okay, you send it from your wallet, right, into your bank, and then that should answer the question for a lot of people when they're wondering, how can I convert my Ethereum into functional, you know, real world money? Well, crypto is real world. There are a lot of merchants. There's like, I don't know how many thousands of merchants across the world that accept Bitcoin, for example, or that accept, you know, Bitcoin Cash. Very much so, like online places like Amazon and so on and so forth. But you can Google that yourself and find the list of, you know, retailers that accept cryptocurrencies. So cryptocurrencies is very real. Get it through your head that it's not going any place anytime soon. Okay, except up. That's where it's going. Another thing, block card. It will be available very soon in European countries. I just did an interview with the CEO. In fact, I'll show right quick. It's here. I'll click on this and just do it real fast because it's already good to go. Let's see if do I have to sit through a commercial.
Some people, plus, are very honest and.
So this is Daniel. He's based in the United States, and the company is based in the United States. And I did a interview with him literally, you know, I don't know how, that was last Saturday, right after the Zoom call that I had for the community. I did this interview with Daniel. So this is a very real company. They're very, you know, P's and Q's, meaning they're on top of their compliance, you know, and being compliant with all the reputable, you know, like, well, banks and so on and so forth that they need to be. Here's another one, which is based out of the UK. All right. So Revolut. Okay. This card right here, it is a real card. I have one myself. Actually, I just I had an old account, but I just actually reordered earlier this week, and I should be receiving the card either. Well, I didn't receive it today, so I should probably receive it tomorrow. But again, how it works is like with block card. I didn't go into too much explanation, but you simply load your cryptocurrency onto the card, okay, by having an app, or in the case of block card, let me go back there. When you have your account, I'm not going to open my account because it shows my sensitive information, which I'll hold off from doing. But this is just a demo card, right? That's not an actual card, obviously. But what it is, you know, you can send crypto. Let me come on down here and show people. You send cryptocurrency in, right? So I've done this. I've sent Ethereum into my account, right? And it automatically converted it into their native coin, which is called Turn. You can check it out on CoinMarketCap yourself if you don't believe me, but at this point, I mean, I hope that you do. And again, effectively, that will be what is the spendable amount that you have on your account balance that you can then use. Again, as you would any other Visa card. You can take cash out in the local currency. If you're traveling and you're, let's say in the United States, you want to take out USD, you could with your Visa card. Or if you're in Europe somewhere, if you wanted to pull out at an ATM, yes, you could pull out, euros. And likewise, I guess, with other currencies, depending on what part of the world you're in, okay? This is very real. This is not fake money, okay? And it's likewise the same with Revolut. Okay, I think I've summed it up, people. So you guys have any questions? I've talked, I know, quite a bit, but I did want to get into some really important points that, again, how the system works, and we've gone through so many different scenarios, and then ultimately how to make your money and how to get your money. All right, did we cover enough? Jonas has a question.
Yes. Shall I unmute it?
Yeah, sure.
Jonas, go ahead.
Okay. Hi guys. I have a question about the company, I guess called Changeli.com,
Yes.
and I just didn't hear about if it's national or it's only in the U.S. because I'm talking from Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to know if they get a support in Brazil, if they send the card.
No, Changely doesn't have a card. Changely just.
Oh, I'm sorry. You see, if they be able to do with the Brazilian, with the international Visa or Mastercard cards.
Yeah, I mean, again, anywhere Visa and MasterCard are accepted, which is worldwide, right? I mean, again, I could make online purchases pretty much anywhere with a Visa or MasterCard. I mean, again, I'm not sure what the limitations might be in some type of way where your country is put a, there are countries that have outright banned cryptocurrencies. I mean, I heard of India banning cryptocurrency. Not really, because people can use a VPN and get around it and so on and so forth. So it really doesn't, affect what, policymakers or, the government politicians, and they, they're just playing the, we're going to do whatever, or we're going to say all this on the surface, but then they're not actually, they don't have any bite to, the threats that they're trying to put on people. Because again, the beauty of cryptocurrency, now, of course, I mean, your question was, does Visa work with that? But to expand on that, I mean, again, the beauty of cryptocurrency is, for example, no one knows that you have that Ethereum wallet, right? When you create that Ethereum wallet through MetaMask, multiple wallets if you choose to make multiple wallets, or if you have an Exodus wallet, for example, where you have tons of different cryptocurrencies, they don't know what wallet you have, right?
Oh yes, yeah. That's the beauty. But one thing, did you use already those Changely.com?
Have I used it?
Yes.
Yes, I've used other message from Lotto.
Okay, and how long does it take to process?
Just a few minutes. I mean, when I say a few minutes, I mean it could take however long it takes, for the conversion to take place, right? For example, hang on, let me answer Lotto.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
So for example, okay, now Changeling, I don't know exactly. I mean, it's very short. Okay, when I say very short, I mean it could be, I don't know,
1 hour, 2 hours. That's
less
cool.
than that. Less than that,
right?
Yeah,
Great.
sure, less
Okay.
than that.
Yeah, I will try. I will try that to see what happened.
Yeah, that's again, for people, they want an on ramp. How do I get onto the freeway, right? You have to take the on ramp, and the on ramp, it doesn't get much easier than using your Visa or MasterCard, right? As I said, you can take out the whole having to use your bank, because I do have this connection through Coinbase with my own bank, but I prefer really to not deal with Coinbase too much, especially now. I mean, again, I'm at a point in my, cryptocurrency networking and doing YouTube and all that, but I don't really have to go out and purchase cryptocurrency anymore. But I mean, for example, to be honest, full disclosure, I did spend about $1,000 of buying cryptocurrencies when the market tanked, when Bitcoin dropped to $3,800, $3,800 something dollars. I went into my savings and used Coinbase to buy a variety of fresh cryptocurrency, because I couldn't buy cryptocurrency with, low valued cryptocurrency. I had to come in with fiat to buy that. But
Okay.
however, I do use Coinbase. Coinbase is great, but again, it doesn't get any easier than using Visa and MasterCard. And like I said, yes, it takes Simplex is the coin payment process, or is the card processor that does all.
It's the simple one, right? This is the one.
Yeah, this is what I would recommend. I mean, if you have a problem, please let us know. Like,
Okay.
I'm not sure if you're in the power team yet, but if you're in the power team or the Forsage awareness room that we have, like, let us know what your experience was there in Brazil.
Okay, cool. I will do that. All right. Thank you for answer. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jonas. Please, other questions, please. But if not, understandable, no problem. I think that I've covered quite a bit, maybe too much so. I think we've been on the line now for, what, an hour and a half now? Yeah, so not quite that yet, but again, I like to think of these Zoom calls as really more like podcasts, right? That they're not, people can go through the recorded version at the speed that they want to, right? You can go to I don't put timestamps in my YouTube videos. I probably should start putting timestamps, right? I'm sure you guys have seen that, where in the description box, you see the number, you click on the number and it'll take you exactly to that point in the video. I might start doing that. But regardless, yeah, these Zoom calls are not just some, bite-sized 5-minute video, because you couldn't get all this kind of information into a 5-minute video. So I hope that that you guys out there are taking advantage of the information. Anyone else? Anna, Banana, Maria, I know you're out there. You got some questions. Come on.
Shall I unmute everybody?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I guess you, of course, could type something.
Open season starts now. Everyone can talk.
We got those mics unmuted. Who's out there who wants to say something? Just say hello, even. Hello.
Everyone's so
I'm
quiet.
still here.
Yes, I can see you.
Hello there.
Sorry, let me lighten the mood and show everyone my pretty face.
Hello.
Hello.
Look at that pretty face right there. Look at that pretty face. Mr. Miyagi, as he's been so lovingly called.
I think Miyagi quit, I think.
What do you mean quit? Like quit like...
He quit his acting contract after the last unpleasant incident.
Yeah, I don't think Miyagi's no longer with us.
Now the kid can wax his own car himself.
I have to admit, the new Karate Kid series that came out on Netflix is very true to die-hard fans, I guess, but original fans of, and new fans as well too. But they came out with the Ralph Macchio and all of the whole gang, right? Like the cast from the original movie. So it's pretty exciting to see. I think they're on season 3 coming up. Should be released pretty soon. But anyways, another subject. So, all right, are you guys happy? Did we do a good Zoom call?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
I guess I'll take your silence as resounding, awe. We're in awe. We can't even open our mouths. All right. Well, hey, I guess that's it then, huh? We will go ahead and shut it down. But yeah, so again, here's the deal, you guys. Like I said, these Zoom calls, I make it a point to run them systematically, throughout the week, right? Because like anything else, for one, to get the information out on a regular basis, because a lot of people aren't getting by my YouTube channel. A lot of people aren't sharing the videos, which is fine. But I recommend that you do, we've got a playlist, back out here. But on that playlist, there's all the Zoom calls that I've run for the power team, as well as, the community Zoom call. Oh, there's other stuff. This is all kinds of videos and stuff that I do. But anyways, though, but there's a playlist specifically for Forsage, right? So you guys can just go there. There's 20-something videos that I've already done because I love it. Again, Forsage has knocked it out of the park for me in the last 3 months now. So, and then, like I said,
How much?
Hey,
Nu
Madeline.
hörde hon utav sig om det här om Hero i sommar. Vad ska jag svara?
Oh, okay, we'll mute your mic. Sorry, I'm not sure if you were asking, if you meant to.
Jag känner jag är vare sig lust eller ork.
All right, John, you can unmute yourself. But hey, so anyways, though, everyone, like I said, I'm running these calls for the power team. They're really open for everyone, but more specific for power team members on, as you can see, Monday. Also on Friday, we'll go through more marketing and tools similar to the one that I just did today. But you know, I'd like to do these overviews because overviews, it takes a little bit of time to get into the, you know, to get into the meat of the topic. And on Wednesdays and Saturdays, I'm doing the community Zoom calls where we have, you know, much larger numbers of people. I hope that we can increase the number of people that come to our power team calls, but no matter, you know, these are out there, like I said, as billboards, as I say, when I upload them to YouTube, they are 24/7 billboards that people are, you know, coming by all the time, and they will eventually stumble upon Forsage when, you know, especially as people start to become more, as the next bull run happens, you know, it brings a lot of attention to YouTube, and in particular for cryptocurrencies, and then they'll stumble across these Zoom calls as well. But so yeah, so doing Zoom calls for you guys all the time. If you all have any questions that we, you know, can answer for you right then and there, find us in Telegram, so we can do a, you know, back and forth real time discussion to help you with your questions. You all should know where to find us. I think John has maybe already left the Telegram group. I have my Telegram group there, which is Experience Crypto 24/7, the chat and discussion group. So do get by there if you guys want to talk in an open forum. I also have my own username where you can call me directly and contact me directly, or John, likewise. It's, you know, we are here to help you guys. I don't know if as many people realize that, you know, as I would like for them, but however, they'll find us eventually. So anyways, though, again, thank you guys for sharing your attention and your time with us so that we could, break down this information to you. And Forsage, as Lotto says, we've only just begun. We really only have just begun at 9 point, and keep in mind, Ethereum's down. We're still at 9.5 or 7 million, something like that, dollars worth of Ethereum in less than 3 months. So yeah, we're in pre-launch, as Lotto says. But yeah, so you guys strap yourselves in for the ride, and let's take this rocket ship as far as it'll go. All right, everyone. Talk to you all real soon on the next one. All right. Hasta la vista.